Okay, before you all ream into me too hard, yes, I am wearing a Team Liquid jersey on the day that we do play Team Liquid, but there's a very specific reason for this. If you don't know, I help organize the New York City watch parties here, and I've reached out to all of the LCS teams, including 100 Thieves, which Sean Robinson did respond, and we're working on getting 100 Thieves merch for a future one. But this week happens to be Team Liquid. So we have TL merch, TL giveaways, and stuff, and they're helping support the local scene here. So I'm going to be wearing my TL jersey to the event, barring when the actual game is on, then I will be wearing my 100 Thieves jersey because I'm not that much of a simp for those that are supporting us. By all means, I truly appreciate them coming in, but yeah, this is a rivalry that I'm not going to wear a 100 Thieves jersey while the actual game is on. In terms of what I'm expecting for the actual game, though, based on what we saw yesterday versus FlyQuest, oh man, I'm not gonna have fun.
So they still get the advantage of having done that, and 100 Thieves are still in a pretty good position here. Let's see if they can find the fight.
100 Thieves once again looking for Vikla. They know that every fight they've started off killing the Swain has gone well, but they can't kill the Swain. You're only going in with 2 dudes, it ain't enough, but now they're gonna find the burst. Bjergsen, now they kill off Double as Prince goes on a rampage. Spica goes over the wall chasing after Closer, and Prince is putting bullets in Bjergsen's back.
That's not much.
He's not gonna break it, damn it.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean, they find Vikla, and
But-
Closer and
but again,
Tenacity jump in.
Look at this. This is the front line. This is the carries back here, right? Like, you cannot be going in like that unless Bjergsen and Double can follow up, and Tenacity and Closer just really went in too fast. When Bjergsen arrives, he drops Timbers, and they actually pretty much insta-kill off Vikla, but as soon as Double comes out of his ulti, he's stunned up, he's burst down, because he has no frontliners. They took too much free damage at the beginning of that fight.
The reason why I played this clip early on is because it's perfectly summing up every issue that we have right now, where Closer and Tenacity are just on a different page than Doublelift, Bjergsen, and Busio. Like, they're just, one side goes in, the other side's not there yet. And I know a lot of people are quick to jump on Closer and Tenacity for this, and I'm not saying they aren't in the wrong here, but I've seen enough with Doublelift and Bjergsen kind of lagging behind during a lot of these plays, like historically, not just on 100 Thieves, to throw the question in my mind of, okay, well, should Doublelift and crew be picking up the tempo a little bit to match the aggression that others are showing? That I don't know. Like, is there hesitancy in the calls that's leading to this? What is happening? Because every game now, there's a difference in the two sides, and it screwed us for what, 4 game? We're on a 4-game loss streak now, or 5-game. I don't know. We haven't won in a long time. Now, granted, this one I'm willing to write off to a certain extent because it's FlyQuest. We were keeping it competitive with them almost the entire time. Bjergsen looked good on the ante. Doublelift, despite getting caught out once in mid lane, was doing a good job of pumping out damage as Xayah. Even in the final team fight when his front line collapsed around him, he was doing a good job. But we just can't put it together. And I'm not panicking because it's like we're putting ourselves in these positions to win games. We're just not capitalizing. If we weren't putting ourselves in those positions at all, yeah, I would be panicked. I'd be like, okay, this is doom and gloom, all is problematic. But no, we're in spots to win games and just don't. And that, I feel like, is going to be much easier to fix, especially given that we have half of the split remaining, even though we are sitting on the outside looking in of playoffs right now, which is terrifying. But we got the worst team out of the way. FlyQuest is done, and then today we play Team Liquid. If we can get a win over TL, considering where they're at in the standings, that's big. Because TL, Golden Guardians, TSM, they're going to be like the core 4 that are realistically right now competing for those bottom slots. It helps that Team Liquid lost, or sorry, the C9 lost yesterday, that EG lost to Dignitas yesterday. It keeps us within touching distance where there's a very clear path. Say we start heating up, these communication issues get fixed, we finish 6 or 7-0 with weaker teams that aren't FlyQuest, that aren't C9, for example, and all of a sudden, we're fine. So there's no real reason to panic yet, but it's just like the writing on the wall for our downfall is there. And I don't want to spend a lot of time going into what could be, what could end up happening, when we're not at that point yet. But the amount of clowning that I'm getting from so many other people is like, okay, I get it. We're the most popular team in the LCS. It is what it is. I get it. Sure. But I'm not too worried. And I don't want to drag this episode on much longer anyways, because I'm going to have all day tomorrow to actually like sit down and talk about this and break everything down. The thing I will mention with draft, I got the chance to talk to Nuke Duck yesterday, and that interview will come out, I believe, on Sunday of this week. And he said that he's been the one that's doing the majority of the drafting. Kaz is more like head coach, kind of bringing everything together, but Nuke Duck is the one that is specifically in charge of putting our drafts together and giving us a team comp that allows us to win. And he said, barring one game, which was the Gwen top game, which was like an emotional pick, he said, rather than like a actual like well thought out like what he wanted, he gave in to what players were asking for, and he really shouldn't have. Drafts have overall been fine. It's just that they're not playing them how they're supposed to be played. I'm curious to see if this changes at all going forward, because it's clear we have to play through Doublelift. I mean, Tenacity is not able to carry games at the moment, which is fine because he's a rookie. All is good. Busio is doing a decent job of making sure Doublelift is well supported in these games. So really nothing to knock on him at the moment. Bjergsen, it's tough with Bjergsen. You can't criticize all that much because he's not doing anything to lose us games, but he's also not doing anything to win us games. People are going to cut to the Annie missed ult yesterday. I'd rather you go for that play 10 out of 10 times. And if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's a good angle. I like the fact that they're being aggro and looking for it. Sucks that it didn't work out, but it's also not the reason that we lost the game. Yeah, it sucks that we missed the ult, but like the second you missed that, like the team could have called to back off. We didn't. And it snowballs from there. Like, I don't want him to stop looking for those angles. So, quite frankly, at least with yesterday, I've been pretty impressed with how how Bjergsen played it. Closer, we need some work, my friend. I know it's regular season. Again, still not hitting that panic button, but these regular season woes are interesting because it's the same formula every game too for him. Like he gets off an early gank like he did yesterday as the Wukong onto the Annie, and has some good fights around the early dragon where he interrupted the Vi ult was one of the ones that stands out in my mind. But then it just feels like beyond that, nothing. Like not much is happening. Like the proactivity just kind of goes away. And I don't know what the fix is. Obviously, I'm a fan at home talking about this. But it's like, you see it every time, and you know it's coming. Whereas like a player like Inspired and those at the top of the ladder of the LCS right now, it's one play after another and just continuously like snowballs over and over again. And it just feels like we never get to that level. We can. I've seen Closer do it a bazillion times before. It's just not happening right now for whatever reason. So we'll see. As I said, shorter episode this week, today, and we'll be back tomorrow with hopefully a win over TL. We need to snap this loss streak. If we lose to TL, then like tomorrow's video is going to be a little bit different. But we'll see. Catch you all in the next one. If you live in the New York City area, be sure to come to OS today. 5 o'clock, we'll be there giving out merch and everything else. 100 Thieves versus TL's the 4th game, so we'll be there.